Hello and welcome back. My name is Lacy Jane. Thank you so much for joining my channel today. I hope that you came ready to talk about rage. So yesterday I actually was struggling, like really struggling. Here recently in my life, I have been going through like one roadblock after another, and I know that I just made a video about this, I just spoke about this, but yesterday everything kind of just like came to a head for me, and like I know and recognize that everything's happening to me for a reason. Like all of these roadblocks are happening for a reason. It's to better me and so that I can start with a fresh slate. But y'all, I lost it. Like I straight up lost it yesterday. So yesterday when I lost it like I was screaming, I was crying, I was literally screaming out into the void why I keep getting dealt the cards that I keep getting dealt. It really came to a head when I was just walking my dog, who's the sweetest little baby angel in the entire universe. I was walking her and I was just like, I need to get back to my house because I am going to flip, like for no reason at all, just like calmly walking my dog. I'm like, I need to shelter in place because I am going to flip my lid pretty soon and I can feel it boiling up. So I get home and I sit on my couch and I'm just like, all right, so what do I do? Like, what do I do with this right now? So I sit on my couch and I'm like, you know what? Okay, so if I have this much anger and this much rage right now, what I need to do is I just need to shake it out. I need to put my headphones on and shake it out. And if you're unfamiliar with shaking it out, I did make an entire video about that, about how I use it to kind of process my emotions and go through my emotions and like get any pent up anything that's inside of me out into the universe, back wherever it belongs. I like to shake my body to get it out. And so basically I told myself, I was like, all right, Lacy, you need to go into your room, put your headphones on, and you are not going to come out of this room and you are not going to stop shaking until you go from a 10 to at least a 2. So I go into my room and I put my headphones on and then I put my drum music on and I'm starting to shake and I'm like, man, I really don't want to do this. Man, I don't really want to do this. I don't have the energy. I don't feel like doing this. And you know, those feelings, like when we first do something, when we start doing something that we're already uncomfortable doing, that's like our ego trying to like talk us out of it. And I was like, no, okay, I just got to get past this ego hump, because the ego, once you get past that little ego hump, then you're golden. Then your higher state kind of starts to sink in. So I'm like shaking and I was feeling everything just kind of start to come up within me. I was starting to feel my emotions. I was starting to cry. I was starting to get more angry. My body was trembling a little bit. I was getting really hot. I could literally feel the energy starting to pulsate through and almost out of my body. And then something happened to me. My higher self kind of started to sink in. And as I continued to shake and as I continued to move, I could feel my higher self slowly starting to come to me. And what started to happen is I started to just ask myself some questions. And what happened was the angry part of me was kind of quieting down and getting a little bit calm because she had gone through some of her emotions. And then the higher self started to come through as this really small, still, calm, cool, collected voice. And I started to ask myself, why are you so angry? And I just kept shaking and like, why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? And then it's like, I didn't even have to try, because it's like the answer just immediately came to me. It just came out. And the answer was, because you're not in control. Because you want to control everything. You feel the need to control every aspect of your life. And then my ego part of me was like, wait, no, okay, no, I don't need to be in control of everything. I'm not like that. Like, I don't care. I'm like, so go with the flow. I'm super chill. And then I came back to myself. My higher self was like, no. My higher self was like, calm down. Like, don't jump to conclusions, Lacy. My higher self was like pushing me. Ask why. Ask why. Ask why you need to control. Ask why. And then, very calmly, very slowly, it started to sink in. And I was like, oh, okay. It's because your inner child wants to feel safe. Okay. Because your inner child has abandonment issues. All right. Because your inner child just wants to feel safe. Because your inner child only knows fight or flight. Because your inner child wants to know that she's taken care of. Because your inner child is using anger as a defense mechanism because she feels the need to protect herself. Because when she's not in control, she can't protect herself. But it's okay. Because she can just hand it over to the universe. Because the universe always protects her. Because she is loved. And most importantly, she is safe. And then it's honestly really weird and kind of hard to explain like what happened in that moment. I started to feel that simply by acknowledging all of these facts, acknowledging the fact that my anger was stemming from this inner wound that just ran really, really deeply within me. By acknowledging that fact, it's like everything that I was immediately just then worried about, it all started to kind of like dissipate from me. And it felt like my anger and my worries and my problems and my emotions, it's like they filled up in this balloon and they just lifted off into air. It's almost like me just simply acknowledging the fact that there was a deeper wound there and the fact that it was a situation that I couldn't control. It's almost like I started to trust the universe because I simply acknowledged it. And this is what I mean when I say that your inner child just wants to be acknowledged. Because the second that you acknowledge your inner child, the second that you acknowledge whatever issues you're having or whatever wounds are coming up for you, it's almost like you're subconsciously transferring all of this worry and all of this anxiety somewhere else into universal support. And the funny thing is that right before all this happened, before I went on that walk and turned around and decided to shake it out, I was actually working out. And I remember I started crying working out because I was like, I'm working out, I've been really consistent, I feel really good about my body, I feel like I'm growing stronger. But the irony in this is that I feel so weak. Like even though I'm working out and I'm physically so strong, I feel like everything in my life has just made me such a weak person. And I think that in times like this, especially when we let our circumstances dictate our emotions and dictate everything around us, a lot of times we look at ourselves like we are weak because it's hard to see past everything else to recognize our strength. All we see is weakness when we look at ourselves. But we fail to realize that when we choose to carry on despite our weakness, despite our circumstances, despite our trauma, when we choose to continue, when we choose to acknowledge the trauma, when we choose to love the inner child that lives within us every single day, even when we hand over our worries because they're just too heavy for us, that is when our true strength is shown. And for me personally, you know, I may not be in the circumstance that I want to be in right now. I might cry a lot. I might be really upset at where I am right now. But I feel like now I have just this new sense of faith about me. Because I know that in these moments when we choose to continue to show up and we choose to continue to show our faith, and we choose to continue to believe that good things are happening to us and everything's happening to us for a reason, then we will be rewarded. We will be rewarded for that faith. We will be rewarded for showing up because strength, bravery, and faith is always, always, always rewarded. The fight is never for nothing. So if you are feeling weak, I hope that this video was just a reminder of your strength and how rewarded you will be for continuing to show up. If you find yourself acting out or using rage or guilt or shame or anger as a defense mechanism, then what I encourage you to do today is just to speak to it. just to acknowledge what you're feeling and acknowledge why you're feeling it, and ask yourself those questions, because the moment that you start to speak up to it and the moment that you start to address it and acknowledge it, that immediately takes those emotions and that anger or whatever it is that you're feeling out of the emotions' hands and back into the hands of your higher self, who you truly are. And if you feel that your inner child is calling out to you, then I just recommend that you start talking to your inner child. Tell them that they are important in your life, and tell them that they are worthy and that they are loved, and just acknowledge their presence in your life, because I don't think we realize how often our inner child actually shows up in our day-to-day lives. And all that they want is just to be comforted with just knowing that they're heard and they're seen and they're loved. Now, I hope that you guys got a little bit of insight from this video. I don't know who needed to hear this message, but it came through clear as day to me. Make sure that you just leave me a little comment and come back for more next week. I will be here. I hope you guys have a wonderful and amazing new year. I love you. Stay safe, and bye. I'll see you soon.